What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video in our YouTube plugin building series. So last time we left off, I'm just going to jump right into it here. Last time we left off, oh, but you know what? Hey, if you ain't subscribed, just subscribe, will ya? It's free, it costs nothing, it's a fast click, and you should do it right now. And if you already subscribed, I appreciate you. Okay, so what we did last time is we were finishing this section about adding new YouTube channel IDs. They look very similar to this right here. In fact, I think this is Motor Trend's channel. It's what I've been working with pretty much the whole time, because I watch their stuff a lot. And so anyway, in this video what we're going to do is we're going to start incorporating videos from multiple channels. What we've been working towards the whole time, right? And it's not as difficult as you think because we've already done so much block building to get to this part. If you guys remember from way back earlier, I said if you build a foundation, a good plugin foundation, the rest of it's really easy. It's easy to build on top of. So, which by the way, I totally messed that up because I built a plugin that requires you to have the classic editor to use, which is pretty useless for Gutenberg, obviously. And I'll fix it in the future in another tutorial series I'm planning right now for a restaurant build. Anyway, so let's get right into it. Let's add some channel IDs, and what we're going to do... So, if you go to Google and you type in get YouTube channel ID, you'll find this commentpicker.com. They have a box right here where you can enter it. It's one of the quickest ways to get a channel ID from just having the name of the channel. So let's do Motor Trend. Okay. So the first channel I'm going to paste in here is Motor Trend. Let's go ahead and click Get Channel ID, and that's going to give us Motor Trend's channel ID. We're going to copy that from right here, head straight back into here, or not into here, sorry about that, right into here, and we're going to add it right here and submit it in so that it gets added to our database because we already made this code. So as you're going to see, there's Motor Trend's channel ID right there with its post ID. Let's get one more. Let's get Haggerty. Yeah, Haggerty's good. Let's get Haggerty. And do the same thing. You go right back here and you paste it in. All we're doing is just getting different channel IDs. That's all this is trying to accomplish right now. So we have a couple of channels to work with. Okay, so we now have two channels successfully in our database that we could cycle through and get, but we've created no code in order to cycle through and grab those. So right now it's just doing the general import. If we go back to our importer call page, this is in our partials for our administrative folder and our importer call. You're going to see that right now it's just getting one channel. Let me actually word wrap this. So it's just getting the channel, the main channel that the user set up in the this top box right here. And it's doing it based on that. Well, we have that duplicated now as Motor Trend right there. So we actually still have that channel. So I'm going to make it ignore this box entirely now and just work on this drop down. And that's actually pretty simple to do. It's a lot less code lines than you'd anticipate. So here's what we're going to do. We're actually going to make it get rid of this channel ID right here. We're not even going to have it do that. And this video list, we're actually going to drop down a couple lines. Give us a couple lines, man. Okay, let's just say, man, come on. And then we're just going to say new import call and today's date. Let's see, today's the 27th. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to make something new called, let's just call this like YT channel IDs or something like that. And we're going to go steal this code, stealing, from over here. This is that form that we created in our last video, this one here that calls in all the posts. We're just going to go ahead and do a little bit of stealing from right here where it grabs all those. And we're going to take that code back to our importer call. We're just going to put that right here. Oh, it's got two. All right. Okay, so as you can see, we are now getting all the channel IDs and storing them in this variable. We're also getting the videos from YouTube still and doing all this. So right now, all we're doing is nothing has changed except for we've went and grabbed all those channel IDs, which is going to return everything that you saw in the dropdown. All right, so now what we have to do is we have to add a new for each that's going to wrap the entirety of our existing code. Now, the reason we're doing this is because we're going to cycle every channel and have it do this stuff with every channel. So this is the ending the importer blocks. We have to go one more right here. This is our end of the channel IDs loop. A lot of times I'll put these comments at the end of stuff to know which ending block ends each thing without having to scroll up and see where the line goes to. It's pretty helpful. And I haven't been doing it in all the other videos. Oopsies, but I'm doing it now. So that's what this is going to, sorry, and that actually goes to here anyway. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a similar for each to what we're doing below. And we're going to say channel IDs as, let's just say like, maybe like, or maybe we'll just call this like each channel ID. So that's like the each one, right? When it cycles through. We've done this so much now, guys should have a pretty good idea what this is doing. So as you guys recall, and for anybody who doesn't recall, let's just go ahead and take a look. The channel ID, okay, the physical ID that YouTube needs to call the channel is in our post title, because that's how we saved it when we imported these. When a user enters it here and then submits it submits it as the post title. So that's what we need to get. That's what we need to get. So you see how it's getting it right here by calling post title? Okay, we can incorporate that into right here where the video list is calling a file get contents to the YouTube channel. See, right here was calling our old channel ID. Well, we're not using that anymore. We're just going to go ahead and... But what we can do is we can now call each channel ID post title. So guess what? What's that going to call? Well, right now it's working on the first channel, which is going to be Motor Trend, chronologically speaking, in our database. So for each channel, there's 2 channels as each channel ID. It just called in a video list for Motor Trend. Now it's going to do all the items it would normally do, and then it's going to cycle back to the next item in the overall, which is the next channel, and it's going to be a different channel ID, which is Haggerty, and it's going to do this again. Pretty simple, right? It was actually pretty easy, but there is one more thing. Before the loop returns, we need to do one thing that you may not be familiar with, and maybe you are. That's called slow down the script. Because the thing is, if we ping to the YouTube API too quickly, too many times, it will give us a temporary lockout. A lot of APIs do this by default. So what we want to do is avoid that altogether by doing something called, hey, why don't you go to sleep? Okay? So what a sleep function does, and here comes my dog clacking his feet. So what a sleep function does is it makes the script sleep. Wow, amazing, right? Basically what it does is it says, hey, I need you to pause here for like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds. And it's weird that it's not written as milliseconds in the sleep function. I think that's interesting because most programming writes in milliseconds, like you put 3000 for 3. But in this case, it just wants 3. So it's gonna do the code, it's gonna do all that, and it's gonna sleep right here for 3 seconds. And it's gonna go 1, 2, 3. Okay, back to the top, do the next channel. Now, if we were going to do this in the form of like a really big operation that say had like 250 channels in it, you may want to do this in Ajax or something like that so that you can update a loading bar real time to show the user how long the process is or something like that. Or perhaps a cron script gets loaded to do this so that in the background it gets done and then the user doesn't have to get pinged or bogged down in a browser. They'll get PHP timeouts and all kinds of stuff like that. So this is just to show you how to do this with a couple of channels. If it was like a humongous pile of channels, you might want to try something else. Or we might want to build something a little more robust than this. But at this point, this really should work. So just to recap, all we did was add a YouTube channel variable that calls in all the user added channels, created a for each that encapsulated our entirety of our import function, called each channel, replaced the YouTube calls channel with the post title for each channel because that contains its channel ID, and then looped through, created the items, sleeps, and heads back. So if we head back to our browser and we go back to the importer page and we delete everything that's currently in our database, should be no problem. And then we should be able to quickly run an import. And technically this will take a second because I told you right now it's going through sleep cycle, it's going through multiple cycles of importing, and it's like getting 50 videos from Haggerty and 50 videos from Motor Trend, so it's doing both channels real time. And look, no errors. Wow, we did it the first time. I almost thought there'd be some errors. Okay. So let's take a look at our video flow. And let's see what we got brewing in the bucket. Aha. Now here's something interesting. This here is a Haggerty video. This is not a Motor Trend. This is not for Motor Trend here. Because most of the stuff that's Motor Trend obviously has Motor Trend in its title, and the stuff that isn't, doesn't. So, because Motor Trend tends to do that with all their stuff. So look at this. But here's the thing. You're going to ask yourself, well, how are they mixed? How are they mixed? Because it incorporated both channels separately. Well, remember, guys, in an earlier video, we made this array and this output sort by date released a video. And it doesn't matter what channel we call that in from, it's going to have the same data, right? So it doesn't really make a difference if it's Motor Trend, Haggerty, any channel. You can take anything. PewDiePie, it makes no difference, right? You can take any channel you want in your mind, and no, it makes no difference whatsoever. So it's now doing exactly what we wanted to do. It's still building those 6 blocks the way we've been doing the whole time, because so far the programming doesn't know anything's changed. As far as it's concerned, it still just has videos, titles, descriptions, and all that kind of stuff, and then it's sorting by date. So basically at this point, that's that. We were able to just that quickly, because of how well we built our base, we were able to that quickly add new channel IDs, and then be able to just add videos from multiple channels. So see, I just built a channel feed now that contains all car stuff that's mixed. So it's really that simple, and I think that's going to wrap us up for this video. I don't really know what else to show you besides that as far as the multiple channel import. We're going to do some more cool stuff with it in the next few videos. I'm already making another kind of like roadmap for the stuff I want to do. There's a bunch more features I want to update, visual as well as more functional type stuff as far as duplicates tracking and some things like that. There's some more stuff that we need to get rid of. And then also we do really need a video desperately on deleting a plugin and making sure that you erase all the data involved with your plugin, and then maybe even exporting your plugin's data or backing it up somehow so that if the user reactivates your plugin or installs it, it can call its old data if they want it to. So anyway, that's all stuff for a future video. But anyway, hey, if you guys like this, just subscribe, will you? Also, sorry for the slow release time videos. I haven't been feeling good over the last week, so I've kind of been slow to that. And I've been more busy than usual. Anyway, if you're already subscribed, I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.